When it comes to strategy, there's a really fine line, isn't there? A line between a brilliant nudge that gets people moving and a clumsy fudge that just falls flat. Today, we're going to get into why so many great strategies fail and how a real understanding of human behavior can change your entire game. So let's start with a question that probably sounds really familiar. You pour all this time, all this energy into crafting the perfect plan. Maybe it's a groundbreaking marketing campaign or a new HR policy that's supposed to change everything. And then it just doesn't deliver. Why does that happen over and over again? Well, the answer is kind of surprising, and it hits at a huge assumption we all make. The problem is, we design these incredible strategies for logical, predictable, perfectly rational human beings, the kind of people we were all taught about in business school. But here's the simple truth. That person, they don't exist. They never have. We aren't these perfect logical machines that old school economic models think we are. No way. We're driven by gut feelings, hidden biases, and all sorts of mental shortcuts. And that brings us right to the heart of the matter, what we can call the predictable people problem. Now, the key here isn't that we're chaotic or random. The amazing part is that our irrationality, it's actually incredibly consistent. It follows predictable patterns. And this is the crucial point, right? The mistakes we all make, they aren't random. They are predictable, which means they are also avoidable. Our little mental glitches aren't just noise. They're part of a system you can actually learn to understand and, even better, work with. You can really see that massive shift in thinking here. On one side, you have that traditional view that honestly still drives most corporate strategy today. But on the other side, that's the reality that behavioral economics has uncovered, that we are predictably irrational, our choices are totally swayed by hidden biases, and our decision-making is, well, it's systematic, but it's also deeply flawed. Okay, so if we know that people are predictably irrational, what in the world do we do with that information? This is where we stop just identifying the problem and start unlocking the solution, getting into the real operating system of human psychology. And this leads to such a powerful idea. What if, instead of constantly fighting against human nature, you could actually align your strategies with it? What if those predictable flaws in our thinking could become the secret ingredient to your most successful strategies ever? And look, there's a really clear path to get there. It's a simple 2-day journey. Day 1 is all about diving deep, understanding the fundamentals of how our minds really work. And then day 2? That's when we roll up our sleeves and use that knowledge to build powerful, practical strategies. When you go on this journey, you're going to walk away with a brand new strategic toolkit. And I mean, it's filled with these powerful concepts that will totally change how you look at everything, from marketing campaigns to managing your own team. Take something like loss aversion. We feel the pain of losing something about twice as much as we feel the pleasure of gaining that exact same thing. It's why free trials work so well, right? Once we feel like we own something, the thought of losing it is a huge motivator to finally subscribe. And then you've got anchoring. Whatever piece of information we hear first, like the first price we see for a product, that number sticks in our head and influences every decision that comes after. When you see a high original price next to a sale price, the discount feels way bigger, all because that first number anchored our idea of what it's worth. And finally, there's choice architecture. This is the art of designing how choices are presented to people. It's not about forcing anyone's hand, it's about making the best choice the easiest and most obvious one. For example, countries that make organ donation the default, where you have to opt out instead of opt in, see their participation rates skyrocket from below 30% to over 90%. That's the incredible power of design. Okay, so you have these incredible new tools. Now what? How do you actually apply them? This is where we get super practical and start designing for how human beings actually are, not how we wish they would be. This is the big question for any leader, right? How do you get people to change, to do something different, without having to use expensive bonuses or unpopular top-down rules that just make everyone resentful? The answer is the nudge. It's not a shove, it's not a command, it's just a gentle encouragement, a subtle hint that makes the right behavior feel like the easiest, most natural path to take. It's elegant and it's incredibly effective. And this isn't just guesswork. There's a practical, repeatable process for this called the FEAST framework. It's literally a guide you'll learn to make sure your nudges are smart, well-designed, and actually work, whether you're in marketing, HR, or just trying to guide consumer choices. So, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, this is cool, but is this really for me? Let's get crystal clear on who's going to get the most out of this science-backed approach to strategy. Honestly, if you're in marketing and you want to truly get inside your customer's head, or you're in human resources trying to create policies people will actually love, or you're in senior management and your job is to lead the entire organization, put simply, if your job depends on understanding and influencing people, this is for you. So here's the bottom line. It is time to stop fudging it. Stop building your big, important strategies for those imaginary, perfectly rational people you read about in old textbooks. It's time to start designing for reality, to build smarter, more human-centric strategies based on the science of how people actually think, feel, and choose in the real world. So, the real question is this. Are you ready to get that incredible strategic advantage? Are you ready to start creating plans that actually work because they're designed for people as we truly are?